What is going on, everybody? 2Bob29 back in the lounge yet again. Make sure to kick back, relax, and grab some snacks, because it's time for yet another character gameplay preview. And this time, the A tier of the June MLC is upon us. It is King Kong Bundy, the Walking Condominium. That is right, and he just can't shut up when you look at this over here, right? Jeez Louise. Looks like a living human bowling ball, but nevertheless, he is in the game. He is a legend striker with the style of chaotic. He is also a trainer, green MP +2 and black gems +50%. He's got the $1 Million Corporation link, the Legends link, and his base gear, and he is a black, blue, and yellow move user. We're going to go ahead and get right on into setting him up. Alright, so moveset number 1 for King Kong Bundy is going to be the triple blue. It's a little weird. I don't know if this is what it's intended to be, but we will see. So the front power slam, 7 MP move, choose a 3x6 area to make into multi-gems of strength 3, and then a reversal if your opponent generated a leech gem, 4 million damage, steal all the leech gems, steal the turn. The running splash, 300k damage, make the bottom 3 rows into pyro gems, which are going to make all the gems above it into black gems when broken, and then another 300k, and then turn all the pyro gems into blue. So looks like we're turning 3 rows into pyros, and then blues, and then everything above it into black. So we'll see how that goes. And then the 7 MP elbow drop, 450k damage, increase your black MP by 10. That's not why we're using it. Why we're using it, though, is for the hardcore style point. So if you fight a focused character, you will deal an additional 1 million damage, and then increase the strength of your multiply gems by 4. So little weird. We'll see where it goes. The entourage for this one, we're going to be using blue MP. Again, Braun is just easier for me to find than Lawler. We're using Tech Lex, multi-gems +2, and blue moves +2. Seth Leonardo, multi-gems +3, and Zombie LA Knight for black gems and multi-gems. So there's going to be a kind of weird dynamic of trying to boost both black and blue here. So in this case, we're boosting black gems. However, for the skill plates, we're going to be bringing out the Let Me Talk to You Ultimate skill plate. Whenever you make 4 or more pyro gems, increase your blue gem damage by 300% for 1 turn. And then the Queen's Tiara, whenever you make 6 or more multi-gems, increase your black gem damage by 50% for 2 turns. It's kind of because there's nothing really fantastic here other than the new Ministry Business skill plate for 100% across the board, which I can try out and see how it does compared to the Let Me Talk to You skill plate, but I don't think it's going to be that much. Definitely sticking with the Queen's Tiara, though, because that is where our multi-gems are going to be. Now, the downside of all this, which I don't know if it's intended, or this is why I'm saying it seems kind of weird. This is a 3x6 area, not a 6x3 area. So it goes down like this instead of going across. And the problem with that, so we'll put those out. We'll hit our increased strength of multis move there. So our black gems are dealing just around 5 mil. But the problem with this is that we're wiping out 6 multi-gems here now because of this. And that's a combo move, so you have to use it last. That being said, I mean, still 77 million damage isn't bad. That's pretty damn good for an A tier. Alright, and as you're seeing, I'm going to go ahead and change out the skill plate that we have here. We're getting rid of the Let Me Talk to You skill plate. We're bringing in the Ministry Business skill plate. Everything else is exactly the same. Remember, we hit 77 million damage before. We're just going to go ahead and see what this looks like here. So our 3x6, boom, doesn't matter where we put it as long as it's in the top row. We're going to go ahead and increase our multi-gem strength. And then we're going to turn all of the bottom 3 rows into pyros, into blues, and that turns everything above it into black gems. And instead of 77 mil, that time we hit 93. So that's actually a sizable increase on damage. Alright, now just for argument's sake, let's say that we're not fighting a focused character. I want to see how much damage this does against a non-focused character. So we're just going to not hit our boost move. And we went from 93, I think is what it was, down to 70. Just short of 70, 69.5. So it's a pretty big decrease if you're not fighting a focused, but still pretty decent. Not going to lie, still pretty decent. Alright, finally on to moveset number 2. All that we did is we swapped out our Pyro move, which was essentially our trigger, and we brought in the finisher. The finisher, 800k damage, make 20 multi-gems into blue gems, and hardcore if the opponent is a trickster, deal 2.7 million damage and increase the strength of your multi-gems by 4. So I don't really care about the trickster part. We all know that that's going to hit fairly solid, especially what we just saw against Sammy. What we are going to swap out to, though, is how consistent can we get this. So same exact entourage other than Gunther here, so we're going for 40% blue instead of 40% black. And the difference here is we're bringing in the Pyro glove for 50% blue instead of 50% black instead of the tiara. We're keeping in the ministry business skill plate. I think that's going to be a solid one moving forward for this. Let's go ahead and see how much he does against Sammy here. We can compare the just around 70 million damage, I think it was 69.5, that we did beforehand. But because we're fighting a focused, actually, we should be comparing the 90 million plus because this is a double hardcore move setup. So let's go ahead and check this out. It's going to be some solid damage, I think. So multi-gems out first. There's our gain MP move for the finisher. Sammy is not a trickster, so we don't get another multi-gem bonus here, but we do get to turn all these blue, and that is 80 million. So it's about 10 million shy of what we were doing with the multi-gems and black gems, but still fairly good, like still fairly usable. All right, for our final moveset, we're going to be using the yellow, black, black, the rear chin lock, 5 MP submission, choose 8 gems to make into block submission gems, 550k per turn. Remaining gems turn into trap gems. If broken by your opponent, deal 100,000 damage and then 1 million bleed damage to your opponent for 1 turn. If broken by you, do the same exact thing, 100k and 1 million bleed damage for 1 turn. The knee drop is simply a choose 9 yellow gem move, 7 MP black, and another 7 MP black, the back elbow smash. 550k, make 10 random gems into 2 turn Juggernaut gems that'll deal 1 million bleed damage to your opponent on every countdown and 1 million at the end of the countdown. So a lot of bleed damage setup here, and it's going to look a little wonky because you can't see her face here, but this is Raquel Rodriguez, the new Judgment Day Raquel. Plus 2 black MP and 75% more bleed from moves and gems, so that will be our traps from the sub, and that will be our Juggernauts down here. We got Striker Woods here for 4 more black MP. We got King Woods here for another 50% bleed damage on each of these. And we got Streetberg here for another Juggernaut gem. The strap on this one, same strap with the gem damage. It's not really going to be crazy helpful because we're not doing gem damage. But something that I wanted to try out was the Rising Up skill plate. Whenever you break 3 or more yellow gems, gain 3 black MP. And so I'm thinking we can find a way to get our Juggernauts off for multiple Juggernauts in the same turn. It's going to be a little funky and a little weird. I don't think Sammy counters if we make traps from a submission, but we can find out. So turn 1, we're going to have both of these moves ready. I'm going to go ahead and set up our 11 Juggernaut gems there. We would have only 1 MP on the yellow here, so I would either need to make a 5 match or a 3 match. 2 3 matches. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a 5 match here. That'll be our first setup, is no problem. That's going to give us a little bit of MP back. And then I could try to play around if there's yellow gems on the board. There's not. I'm not bothered by it right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these down, make a couple of black matches. That'll refill my black move, and then overlap some of the black gems on board already so that they turn into those trap gems. So now our turn 1 of the bleed is going to trigger. You're going to notice no damage gets done because he's bleeding, so the damage isn't going to get done until it's his turn. And then we're going to put out even more of these. We can make another 2 3 matches is totally fine. That's actually going to be a 4 match. There's a 3 match. Oh, and we cascaded there. So there's 1 set of bleeds on him. And that's all that's going to happen. Now we got all of those bleeds on him again. We're going to hit the back elbow smash 1 more time here. What I'm going to do at this point, because we got our move reloaded, I'm going to go ahead and make a swipeable 5 match. Oh, and we ended up cascading again. Well, that's not good. But the bleed damage is going to be more than enough to take him out. So definitely not fast, but very strong. You can see it's going to stack up real quick. We'll try and run that one more time. All right, so we're back. We got our Jug Gems out for turn 1. Boom. We need to make 2 3 matches or a 5 match, so I'm just going to go ahead and make the 2 3 matches here. Boom, boom. And we're going to go ahead and fill our black moves back up. So there you go. We're going to put the rest of these out on the board like so, because I want to have him in the sub for a little bit. All right, well, now he messed up because he gave us a lot of pin bar to work with. So back elbow smash here. Boom. Wonderful. We can set up a 5 match as well, right? And then we can even make a 3 match down here. Is totally fine. So our 3 match is going to give us our 3 MP. This is where our skill plate's going to come in handy. We're going to make that 5 match. That's going to give us another 3 MP on each of our black moves and 1 for the turn. So we're just triggering our Juggernaut Gems left and right here, which is actually really awesome. We can go ahead and hit this one more time with a setup for a 5 match. And I'm going to go ahead and swipe that again. And even with the pin, we hit him for more than his health pool full of bleed. With all these Juggernaut Gems on the board, that will continue to bleed 2.25 mil a piece. So yeah, lots and lots and lots of bleed damage from King Kong Bundy. Alright, so just a quick heads up, the one move I didn't showcase was the Forearm Club. 1 MP, 1.5 million, steal up to 15 MP from each of your opponent's black moves. We could do that against Zombie Sami Zayn, but the likelihood is that you're not going to fight somebody with that. I'll go ahead and just show it just for argument's sake as to what you can expect, because honestly, if you do want to run him this way, it is very strong. It's almost unfair how strong it is. So you can go ahead and put out your Jug Gems. You can go ahead and set up your 5 match without even swiping it, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we can't do that. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can set up a bunch of 5 matches with yellows. Doesn't bother anybody. And then you can just go ahead and steal all the MP that they got, right? So now they have no MP. You can put out another 11 Jug Gems. Then you can swipe. All the jugs trigger at least once. And at this point, it doesn't even really matter whether you make a yellow match or a black match, right? I'm just going to leave as many jugs as I can on the board. So there's my yellow match. And just with 1 turn of the jugs, that's 45 million bleed damage as is. So now we just got another 45 million bleed damage put out there because all the other jugs just triggered, right? So like this is very unfair when you're fighting people that have black MP. Because he will just dominate like effortlessly against them. So we're gonna make another 5 match here. We're gonna get our jugs back up again. He has no MP left. I probably should have set up another match that I could have just swiped and finished him here, but even without it, he's already beyond in danger. We got even more jugs triggering there. If he had more health, again, you could set up another 5 match. Like, this is, it's very methodical in terms of the way that you could just absolutely dominate your opponent. Really, really strong. Like, really, really strong. Alright, so that is it for King Kong Bundy. I mean, look, I thought he was great. I think he's fun. He's going to be an interesting striker legend. He's going to be the chaotic side of things. Will be nice. Apparently, the way that they're trending with Boss Battle is to make these guys usable for Boss. So I'm very curious how he's going to do in the Boss at the end of the month. If it's going to be like a Bleed Boss or a Blue and Multi-Gem Boss, even a Black and Multi-Gem Boss. Like, it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to it. He seems kind of fun, not going to lie. But anyway, that's enough for this one. So if you like the video, make sure to like the video. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the additional content that I continue to post. Share with all your friends that want to see what the human bowling ball, the walking thumb, the King Kong Bundy walking condominium looks like for this MLC. And leave some comments below. Leave some comments below in regards to what you think in regards to King Kong Bundy, you know? But anyway, that's going to be it for this one. So until next time, y'all, have a good one.